Looks like we are live. We've got somebody in. Good morning. Good Saturday morning. I want to thank you all for being here. All one of you who are currently tuned in, whoever's out there. Make sure you say hi over in the chat. And we're going to get this started this morning. Now, I am streaming a little bit early. My wife has got a list of things that she wants to get accomplished. And so I am going to cap the live stream at about a half hour so that we can get going. Hey, Jordan, how you doing? Let people start filtering in. Looks like we got 14 people here so far. Hey, Sweden. Hello, SBC Cave. Hey, Best Networks. Good morning, everybody. 16 people so far. I know this is an hour earlier. Hey, Michigan. The UK, everybody's kind of filtering in. I know this is about an hour earlier than I usually do this. So some people on the, I always have to do the never eat soggy Wheaties to remember the directions. People on the West Coast, it is 7 o'clock. So if you're on the West Coast, it might be a little early for you. I know we got quite a few viewers out there. Morning, Lewis. And if you are on the East Coast, then it is 10 o'clock. And if you are outside of the United States, it could be 10 o'clock or later. Yep. So everybody is piling in. We got 20 people so far. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. You can go ahead and start loading up the chat with any questions you may have. I'm going to show you a couple things. I gave away NetTool on the last one. Let me grab something and show you what I'm going to give away on this live stream. All right, so if you are tuning in, everybody always wants to know how they can get Ubiquiti swag. Well, the quickest way to get Ubiquiti swag is when you do your deployments, take pictures, do documentation, and then go over to the Ubiquiti community and upload your pictures, tell your story, stuff like that. Now, I have right here, this is a Ubiquiti Networks t-shirt. It is brand new. You can see it's still got the tag on it. I'm going to give this away. So by the end of the live stream, it's a large, so keep that in mind. If you're wanting the shirt, it is a large, but I'm going to give this t-shirt away. I got this for one of my larger deployments that I wrote a story about. And so I'm going to give this shirt away at some point. All right, let's take a look at the questions. I spec'd in an EdgeRouter X for a job this week and was wondering if perhaps the EdgeRouter Lite would be a bit better. All right, Freeman. So it's going to depend on exactly what you're doing it for. So there are only 2 Ubiquiti routers that actually have an SoC in them that can do switching with no penalty. Right, so you've got the EdgeRouter X's, and then you've got the EdgeRouter 5 PoE. It has a 3-port switch. Those are the only 2 edge routers where you can actually do switching with no penalty because you're not doing a bridged interface. So it's going to depend on that. So Freeman, can you give us a little bit more of an idea of what you're looking at, and maybe we can help you figure out if the Lite would be better. I love the X. It's for a small AV network, just needed it to be for the firewall, really. Yeah, go with the EdgeRouter X. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a lower cost. It doesn't have the USB drive in it that can fail. So, you know, hey, Sean, good morning. Sean is out on the East Coast. Sean is going to become my, what are those people that, like a remote, Sean's going to be like telling me when I need to run and put the donuts down. whatever you call that kind of a person. Let's see. Always wanted to know, what's the blue and white container? I'm assuming you're talking about that blue and white container. While it would be awesome if that was a thermos of coffee or a big thing of whiskey, it is actually an air cleaner. My wife has relegated me to I have a 50 square foot office to work out of, and that's the air cleaner for it. Let's see. Hey, Christopher Roebuck. Yeah, no problem, man. Life coach. Yeah, kind of a, yeah. See, Sean makes me feel bad, right? Because he just got done running and I just got done drinking coffee. Actually, I've been working with customers this morning. So I have a customer in Wisconsin who's up around the new Foxconn plant that needed some work done. And we're actually deploying switches. Now, we deployed an EdgeRouter Lite there because that's what he had. So he had the EdgeRouter Lite. So this actually has my customer's configuration on it, but it is also, you can see Angry Cloud on the bottom of my, this is the router that I will often use to simulate the internet. And good morning to everybody who's filtering in, and I appreciate you being here. So this EdgeRouter has the customer's current config. And then what we did was he, didn't want to, yeah, Freeman. So my H5 work is done after 4:30 Central, up to 7 a.m. depending on client needs and on the weekends. So let's see here. But I am I'm an information security supervisor, in case you're wondering what my crazy long title is. So I do a lot of security, a lot of pen testing, things like that. So stuff that I am bringing to H5, I am working on my CISSP. And when you get your CISSP, then you have to do CEUs. You get your CEUs by being published, by doing speaking engagements and things like that. So you will probably get to see some of those speeches here on the channel. So this is one of my favorite switches in the world. This is HPE. It's the Office Connect 1820 series, and this guy's got 12 ports of PoE. It's got a 185 watt PoE budget. My Amazon link is down in the description, and this switch is in my Amazon store. I love this switch. Here's another thing about HP. This switch is a layer 2 device. It has a lifetime warranty through HP. And if you sign up for an HP account, they give you the firmware as well. So you don't have to pay for the firmware. Now you can get paid support for HPE products. But I absolutely love these switches, these HPE switches. These things are fantastic. They're inexpensive and they have a lifetime warranty. Now it's I don't think it's transferable, right? So if I buy this and I sell you the switch, I don't know if the warranty follows it or not. That's always a gray area with all equipment. I know with Ubiquiti, I was told that the warranty doesn't follow, but I'm not sure how they could even prove that if you had proof of purchase. I don't know if it's the name that it's tied to or what, but if you're looking for a great PoE switch, 185 watts, like I said, the first 12 ports on this are PoE. It does have the SFP ports over here. These HP switches are wonderful, and I'm going to do a full video on this, and so you can see some of the options that it's got. So I actually am going to put that. If you've been looking at the new videos and you see that I've got like my storage area where I am shooting videos, then we're going to be shooting in there. EdgeRouter Lite was paired with this guy. Works out perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right, let's go back to the questions. Oh yeah, hit that like button. If you're liking what we're doing here, hit that like button. You should sell Angry Cloud stickers. SatVision, yes. So we do have a merchandise store, and that is in the it's not in the description for this, but in the regular videos, the descriptions there, you can get shirts right now and a hooded sweatshirt since fall and winter are coming up. I come up with the ideas. Tim puts them into, well, he came up with, we kind of came up with the last one together, the move bits, get out the way. And I think that's absolutely hilarious. So if you know anything about pop culture in the United States, you probably heard an actual song with different lyrics to that. So we really like that. But all right, so let's see here. So yeah, I should absolutely do some stickers. I agree with that. Terry asks, do you think that Ubiquiti will ever allow multiple WAN IPs on Unifi? Terry, I think it's going to get there eventually. I don't have a time frame. Like, I have no insider knowledge of that. But at some point, what's going to happen is the tribe is going to split, right? We push for something, we push for something, we push for something, and pretty soon, I'm just going to say, all right, I'm just going to go completely back to edge routers, you know, because UNMS is going to be better than Unifi. In fact, in many aspects, UNMS is already better than Unifi. It's got dual factor authentication, two-factor auth for login. And in UNMS, when I lose a device, that's how quick I get a notification. I mean, it's right now. Unifi can take up to 5 minutes sometimes to get a notification that I've lost a device. So Austin says, thoughts on the Unifi Nano HD? I have a Nano HD. If you'd like me to do a video on that, let me know. I think it's a solid device. Sean, who's in the chat, Sean and I know each other outside of this. And Sean is actually doing a project at a church where he's exclusively using the Nano HD. So if you've got questions about Nano HDs, Sean's kind of my Nano HD expert at the moment. Post those questions in the chat. We'll see if he can answer any questions you've got about those Nano HDs. I ran it, you know, here. I don't have it as my daily driver right now, but it's a solid access point. And I'm not going to talk about any of the other beta stuff. I don't want to get in trouble, but go look around. Let's see. Andy says, oh, yeah, Terry, without JSONs, that is. Yeah, Terry, I do think it's coming because I think what's going to happen is Ubiquiti is going to start selling less and less gear if they keep kicking the can down the road on some of these. I think it's going to impact how many devices they sell. There's so many other routers that can do multiple WAN IPs that people are going to get tired of green bubbles at some point when they're going to want functionality, right? The green bubbles can only make us happy for so long. Yes, Andy says Cisco warranty doesn't follow the device either. Cisco is so weird. So I worked with a company who literally would stock $20 million worth of Cisco product on their shelves. And because they weren't a Cisco partner, right? They didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Anything they sold was considered grayware, gray market. And I had a hell of a time. I mean, I could get support and stuff like that on it, but Cisco, all they care about is the dollars, right? So yeah, they'll sell this guy $20 million so he can resell it. I get it at a better price and I actually get it from a Cisco partner, but then they penalize this guy that just bought $20 million worth of. Cisco is a weird company. So yeah, Terry says they use HP 2920s at the college. HP makes a solid layer 2 product. I don't know anything about their layer 3 stuff, but Christopher asked, basic question. Sorry, where in Unifi USG is the best place to measure speed coming in from Xfinity? Don't use your USG for that. Use a web browser. If you want to see, you know, what's passing through, go to an outside test and just plug a single PC into the LAN port, get an IP address, which will take the rest of your network down temporarily, but that'll tell you what you're getting through your USG. A tear down of the HP switch. So I don't know if I take it apart, if it'll void my warranty, Sat Vision, but it would be kind of nice to see what's in there, right? You've seen me take apart routers and stuff like that. Maybe I'll take the switch apart. I don't know. I kind of want to run it though, right? And I don't know if I want to, I don't know. I kind of want it to be a daily driver kind of thing. So we'll have to see. Let's see. I will know in November about, okay, I'll tell you this. The property owners told me that when the budget's there, I'm the guy. So the hotel gig, I have verbally, I have it. They're getting, once the budget comes around and stuff like that. And they understand the advantage of having the in-wall APs and all of that. And they are basically they're a 3-star property. They are going to have a 5-star guest network when we are done. So let's see. I wish there were more. Freeman says, I wish there was more rear IO switches for us AV folks who don't need front-facing IO. Well, you could change the way that you mount the switches. You could look at different ways of doing that. Jordan says SFP or SFP plus. I'm assuming you mean on this switch. This switch is SFP only. Let's see here. Let's see. Steven says he believes the HPs are transferable. That's awesome. Hey, Luke, greetings from greetings from America. You're down in Jamaica. Yeah, and Sean is right. So anything that you want, any features that you need on your Unifi gear, make sure you're at the Ubiquiti community. Make sure you're letting Ubiquiti know, this is what the people want. They need to know that. Andy says, found out that USGs will start producing errors when they hit 45 degrees Celsius. On the top of my head, I can't do that conversion. Andy, can you tell me what that is in Fahrenheit? So let's talk about some of the errors that USGs. I actually have a video that's sitting in production where I have a I just read a comment and I lost I'm going to address that here in a second, but we're using Unifi for MDUs. And try this yourself. You're going to see the video on it, but try this yourself. Go out to your Unifi. If you've got a USG, go into the networks and try to create more than 64 networks, no matter what the size. Once you hit 64 networks, Unifi is going to go, whoop, 64, we're done. Well, for an MDU that's got 500 rooms, 500 apartments, that's an issue. So we've got some design challenges there, but yeah, you'll see that video. Let's see. Tawny says, hello from Faroe Islands. Why is it so difficult to get a certificate on a cloud key? That's not really that difficult. I mean, just follow the steps and reach out. If you want somebody to do for it, reach out and let me know. All right. I'm going to butcher your name, so I am apologizing on the front end of this. Chardos? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It is my lazy tongue, and I apologize for that. Unifi 16XG. Do they do layer 3 switching? No, they do not. Unifi, the only thing that does layer 3 are the USGs. Now, the Edge version of the XG does do some light layer 3 stuff. So Steven, I hear this a lot. So Steven says, I don't understand why Ubiquiti doesn't eventually merge Unifi and UNMS into a single management for both platforms, because they're totally different, they're totally separate product lines. They have a totally different marketing aspect. They are geared at different people. When you start going down the Edge rabbit hole, there are so many different devices. There's, you get into the fiber, I mean, it's really meant for service providers, whereas Unifi is meant for enterprise, except we can only have one IP address on a WAN interface. All right. So, which is why I consider, sometimes Edge to be more enterprise. But no, I don't want them to merge it. They shouldn't merge it. That's my opinion. I think that would be a fatal mistake. Yeah, I think that would be bad. Dallas, glad to see you here, Dallas. What are my thoughts on the Unifi USG 3P versus the Netgate SG 3100? If I'm not mistaken, the SG 3100 also has an ARM processor. So I would have to look more in depth with that, but I'm going to tell you that from a functionality standpoint, if you've got business class internet and more than one IP, I'm going to tell you to go with the Netgate right out of the chute. So, but if you only have a single IP address that you need, or you want to split that network connection with a switch and have different firewalls for different things, you could run them both, or you could run the USG. We should probably talk about that, Dallas, a little bit further in depth. So let's see what else here. So somebody asked me, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it here. Ricky says, what's up with the cancer tower in the corner? I'm not sure which cancer tower you are referring to, Ricky. If you can, let me know. All right. So Andy says that that's 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I don't. What kind of errors are you getting? That's weird. Sash asks, says, greetings from Ukraine. Hello, Ukraine. Question, how good is Edge Switch as a layer 3 device? If you are going to route a small network, small, like less than 200 devices, internally, it works great. But here's the thing about layer 3 on the edge switches. They don't provide NAT. They don't provide firewalling. Now, ACLs will block traffic, but they're not really a firewall, and they don't do NAT. So it's not like you can put an edge switch at the front of your network as like a firewall. It doesn't work that way. You're going to want an edge router and then an edge switch. But if you've got public IPs and you're just routing around public IPs, absolutely, you could use an edge switch and use ACLs to do that. And probably, I mean, there's some more advanced configuration you can do to keep people out of the web UI, but it would probably be a good option. Hey, Shane. Everybody say hi to my mom. My mom's here, so be nice. Let's see. My wife's probably watching too. Let's see. He says, Ricky says, can someone, what are the words that he's saying? Ricky, I'm not sure what's going on here, man, but, all right, let's see. What else do we have here? All right, catching up with the questions. Thanks. Keep them coming in. John said, or let's start here. So, Origin D, do you plan on reviewing the Unifi LED and installation sample? Yes, I have LEDs. If you've been on the channel for a little while, the Ubiquiti head developer for that project actually had me do a video. They didn't pay me for it. They did send me the gear. They didn't pay me for it and had me release it when it went to beta. He jumped the gun. They contacted me. I had to take the video down. I still have the video, but I'm deciding whether I'm going to revamp it. But the LEDs that I do have are going to go in the workshop. So maybe we'll do that. Would that be a great live stream, right? You can see how I get to screw up and then fix it and give me pointers and all that good stuff. John says, can you give me tips to improve a wireless network with Ubiquiti? I have the USG, a 16-port switch, 2 UAP ACMs configured with symmetrical 10 meg. John, I'm going to need more detail than that. Yes, Erless, no merger. I agree with that. Let's see. Hello, Sweden. Yeah. Unimas and Unifi, 2 separate markets. I agree with that. So Cobra Builder wants me to do a walkthrough of creating and modifying the JSON file. I will not do that. Maybe another YouTuber will do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't support it. I know that Ubiquiti support will walk people through there. I actually had a customer. It cost him thousands of dollars in troubleshooting because Ubiquiti configured a JSON file, didn't document it anywhere. He didn't document it. And it cost him a lot of money because then Unifi got upgraded. Some of the things they created in the JSON file got updated in the software. His network literally quit working. And it was because of the JSON file. I don't support it. I won't support it. Now I will tell you that I have done some light configuration with a customer, but the customer already had it. And so we were kind of modifying what the customer had, but from scratch, I will not do it. I'm not even going to do a video on it because I don't want people's networks to get screwed up. Their microwave stops popping popcorn. Then it's Willie Howe's fault. Hello, Washington State. Are they ever going to implement port security on the Unifi switches? Well, if it comes as fast as multiple WAN IPs, probably not. Let's see here. Morning, everybody that's here. Is it possible to convert a USG into a USG Pro? Well, the hardware is different, right? So the hardware in a USG 3 is equivalent to the EdgeRouter Lite, and the USG Pro is equivalent to the EdgeRouter Pro, except the USG Pro has been neutered and doesn't have as many ports. But I do have a video on how to swap out USG, so check that out, Luke. Hey, Philippines. Yeah, I'm totally frustrated by only having a single IP address on a WAN interface. Now, that being said, if you've got a small office that doesn't need any port forwarding or anything like that, a full Unifi stack will work great for you. But if you want to do enterprise things, you can't really do enterprise things, right? I've got one IP address. I can't do enterprise things with one IP address. Let's see. Any thoughts about VRRP on both sides? So that's a great question, Andreas. So VRRP is a virtual router redundancy protocol. So what it allows us to do is take routers and on a WAN interface and internal and create a virtual interface and have multiple pieces of hardware for redundancy. I actually did a data center design for a cryptocurrency mining operation down in Georgia, and they actually hit several people and got several bids from several people, and I know that I bid against some other people in the same space, but I actually did with I did a VRRP there. If that's something you'd be interested in seeing as a VRRP video, let me know. I think it's awesome. Let's see. Willie, why do you not use QNAP devices? So the first time I ever got into a QNAP device, the interface, it drove me away. The Synology interface is much more palatable to me. Now, Tim, if you guys seen Tim on the channel, Tim will run QNAP. He runs the hell out of QNAP, and I run the hell out of Synology. But guess what? Tim, if you're on here, speak up. But Tim is now a Synology convert, not by me specifically. Well, maybe me. But I didn't tell him, you got to do this, you got to do this. He saw the videos, he talked to me, saw the things that we're doing in production on a large scale with Synology, and really liked that. So he is doing that. And Synology doesn't sponsor me. They don't pay me, but they did send me that DS 218 Plus that's sitting up there. And they've sent me, or sending me, something else that I think you are all really going to enjoy. You're going to see I have to get the video done this weekend for the precursor to this and get it out, but you are really going to like some of this stuff. A small business asked me, this is from Brian Warren, a small business asked me to add VPN service to their network for the employees. What devices do I need? If they've got a USG or an Edge router, you've got everything you need right there, Brian. Have you done a video about pfSense Acme? No, I have not. We are going to get back into the pfSense videos. Let's see. Unifi XG server. Can I run VMware and Windows on it? Yes, you can run VMware on it. You can also run Zen on it, and you can run Proxmox on it. So let's see here. Let's see. Hey, Willie, what's up? This is Shane Henderson. My church is planning to upgrade their internet, and we are planning to use Unifi products. Could we send them to you to configure, and you send it to us in Jamaica? Shane, go over to h5llc.com, fill out the contact form, and let's talk about that. But that is something that I absolutely do. I'm assuming that you're going to be using a forwarding service, right? So I'd actually like send it to Florida, and then it would get to you in Jamaica. But yeah, Shane, I'd love to help you out with that. Go fill out that contact form, and we'll get that figured out. Yeah, the VRRP video. Yeah. I could either do a video, or we could do something. You could contact me, and we could figure that out. Is Ubiquiti going to roll back their decision to not release Debian packages? I don't know, Brett, but I'm hoping that they do. So I promised my wife this morning, guys, that I would cap this at a half hour. We're coming at 29 minutes. I appreciate you all being here. So to keep the promise to my wife, who, by the way, if you've been with me since the beginning, back in 2016, you know that my wife is a large reason why I am sitting in this chair and I'm still breathing and able to teach you and do these videos. My wife is an absolute saint. She puts up with my crazy hours, you know, because my career, my day job, you know, I'm at, you know, 50 to 60 hours a week there. I spend time with the family, and then I burn the midnight oil, you know, doing consulting and stuff like that. My wife puts up with this crazy lifestyle, living La Vida Loca, and I love her and I appreciate her very much for that. So I told her a half hour. So that's where we're going to do it. And that's what we're going to do. I got to get cleaned up, get presentable, comb my beard, put some beard oil in, and we're going to go do it. So I appreciate all of you for being here. Watch out for more videos coming. I'll probably drop a couple yet this weekend. And I'm going to try to keep doing this live stream thing at least once a week. Thank you. I really do appreciate all of you. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.